Dissectomize. To perform a discectomy. Dissectomize. Simple past and past participle of dissectomize. Dissectomizes. Third person singular simple present indicative of dissectomize. Dissectomizing. Present participle and gerund of dissectomize. Dissectomy. The surgical procedure to remove all or part of an intervertebral disc, discotomy. That simple past and past participle of dist. See, to yield or give up, to depart. Dissension, obsolete form of dissension. Discept, to debate, to discuss. Dissertation, controversy, disputation, discussion. Dissertations, plural of dissertation. Disceptator, one who arbitrates or decides, a judge. Deceptators, plural of deceptator. Deceptive, simple past and past participle of decept. Decepting, present participle and gerund of decept. Decept, third person singular simple present indicative of decept. Desar, a kind of disc harrow. Desar, to detect with the senses, especially with the eyes. Discern, simple past and past participle of discern. Discernibility, the state of being discernible. Discernible, alternative spelling of discernible. Discernibly, in a way that can be discerned observably. Discernments, discernment. Discerned, simple past and past participle of discern. Discerner, one who, or that which, discerns, distinguishes, or judges. Discerners, plural of discerner. Discernus, second person singular simple present indicative of discern. Discerna, third person singular simple present indicative of discern. Discernibility, the state or quality of being discernible. Discernible, possible to discern, detectable or derivable by use of the senses or the intellect. Discernibleness, the state or quality of being discernible. Discernibly, in a discernible manner. Discerning, present participle and gerund of discern. Discerningly, in a discerning manner. Discerningness, the quality of being discerning, discernment. Discernings, plural of discerning. Discernment, the ability to distinguish, judgment. Discernments, plural of discernment. Discerns, third person singular simple present indicative of discern. Discerp, to tear into pieces, to rend. Discerpt, simple past and past participle of discerp. Discerpability, alternative form of discerptability. Discerpable, capable of being discerped. Discerping, present participle and gerund of discerp. Discerps, third person singular simple present indicative of discerp. Discerptability, capability or liability to be discerped. Discerptable, alternative form of discerpable. Discerptableness, the quality of being discerptable. Discerption, the act of pulling or tearing something to pieces. Discerptions, plural of discerption. Discerptive, tending to separate or disunite parts. Discerptor, a person who pulls something apart, a person who divides or separates. Discerptors, plural of discerptor. Discers, plural of discer. Discession, departure. That, dated form of discat. Disets, plural of disset. Disc fall, the amount that a disc can hold. Disc falls, plural of disc fall. Discharge, to accomplish or complete as an obligation. Discharge 2, any device in which a flow of electrons or ions through a gas acts as a source of light. Discharge tubes, plural of discharge tube. Dischargeable, capable of being discharged. Discharging, the person who is called on to discharge a charge placed by the chargent. Dischargents, plural of discharging. Discharged, simple past and past participle of discharge. Dischargee, one who is discharged. Dischargees, plural of dischargee. Dischargement, an instance or act of discharging. Dischargements, plural of discharge. Discharger, someone or something that discharges something, such as pollution or a firearm. Dischargers, plural of discharger. Discharges, plural of discharge. Dischargist, second person singular simple present indicative of discharge. Dischargeth, third person singular simple present indicative of discharge. Discharging, present participle and gerund of discharge. Dischargings, plural of discharging. Discarity, lack of charity. Discharm, to remove the charm or power of a charm from. Discharmed, simple past and past participle of discharm. Discharming, present participle and gerund of discharm. Discharms, third person singular simple present indicative of discharm. Dischur, a surname from German. Dischurs, plural of dischur. Dischizidemus, furcating from 2 points. Dyschloremia, alternative form of dyschlormia. Dyschner, a surname. Distuct, very displeased or unsatisfied. Church, to deprive of status as a church or of membership in a church. Dischurched, simple past and past participle of dischurch. Dischurches, third person singular simple present indicative of dischurch. Dischurching, present participle and gerund of dischurch. Disci, plural of discus. Dissacristate, an assemblage of eukaryotic protists of the clade Dissacristata. Dissacristates, plural of dissacristate. Disse, any snail in the family Decidae. Decide, to cut apart, to cut into pieces. Decided, simple past and past participle of decide. Decides, third person singular simple present indicative of decide. Deciding, present participle and gerund of decide. Decids, plural of decid. Deciferous, bearing discs. Decifloral, bearing the stamens on a discoid outgrowth of the receptacle. Deciform, having a flat, rounded shape. Deciduous, synonym of deciferous. Decena, any member of the brachiopod genus Decina. Decenas, plural of decina. Decinct, ungirded, loosely dressed. Ascend, to divide or split something. Ascende, symbol past and past participle of descend. Descending, present participle and gerund of descend. Descend, third person singular simple present indicative of dissin. Disking, present participle and gerund of dis. Descendant, any brachiopod in the family Decididae. Descendant, plural of descendant. Disciple, any of the followers of Jesus Christ. Disciple of Christ, a member of the Christian Church Disciples of Christ, a mainline Protestant Christian denomination in the United States and Canada. Discipled, having been converted or trained as a disciple or a group of disciples. Disciple-like, resembling or characteristic of a disciple. Discipler, one who disciples. Disciplers, plural of discipler. Disciples, plural of disciple. Disciples of Christ, plural of disciple of Christ. Discipleship, the condition of being a disciple. Discipleships, plural of discipleship. Disciples, a female disciple. Discipluses, plural of disciples. Disciplic, of or pertaining to disciples or discipleship. Disciplinability, the quality of being disciplinable. Disciplinable, that can be instructed by discipline, able to be taught. Disciplinableness, the quality of being disciplinable. Disciplinal, relating to discipline, i.e. order and / or punishment. Disciplinand, one who subjects themselves to a certain discipline. Disciplinants, plural of disciplinant. Disciplinarian, one who exercises discipline. Disciplinarianism, a disciplinarian approach or attitude. Disciplinarian, plural of disciplinarian. Disciplinaries, plural of disciplinary. Disciplinarily, in a disciplinary way. Disciplinarities, plural of disciplinarity. Disciplinarity, the quality of being an academic discipline. Disciplinarium, a scourge for penitential flogging. Disciplinary, having to do with discipline or with the imposition of discipline. Disciplinary inquiries, plural of disciplinary inquiry. Disciplinary inquiry, a formal process where an employer investigates allegations of misconduct against an employee. Disciplinary literacy, the ability to comprehend, navigate, and use the linguistic styles and discourse practices of a variety of different scholarly disciplines. Disciplinary love, a natural love. Disciplining, synonym of discipline. Disciplinative, disciplinary. Disciplinatory, disciplinary. Discipline, a controlled behavior, self-control. Discipline specific, relating to or forming part of the typical language used in a particular field of study. Discipline, possessing mental discipline. Disciplinedly, in a disciplined manner, with discipline, with self-control or organization. Disciplineless, without discipline, undisciplined. Discipliner, agent noun of discipline, one who disciplines. Discipliners, plural of discipliner. Disciplines, plural of discipline. Discipliness, second person singular simple present indicative of discipline. Discipline, third person singular simple present indicative of discipline. Discipling, present participle and gerund of disciple. Disciplining, present participle and gerund of discipline. Disciplinings, plural of disciplining. Disciplinism, an educational approach aiming to foster effective thought and action. Disciplinist, a proponent of disciplinism. Disciplinist, plural of discipline. Discipular, of or relating to a disciple. Decision, misspelling of decision. Decision, incision, especially of a soft cat erect. Decisions, plural of decision. Dysestrovirus, misspelling of dysestrovirus. Decitus, an infection in the intervertebral disc space. Desitravirus, misspelling of dysestrovirus. Disclaim, to completely renounce claims to deny ownership of or responsibility for. Disclaimant, one who disclaims. Disclaimants, plural of disclaimant. Disclaim, simple past and past participle of disclaim. Disclaimer, one who disclaims, disowns, or renounces. Disclaimer, simple past and past participle of disclaimer. Disclaimering, present participle and gerund of disclaimer. Disclaimers, plural of disclaimer. Disclaimist, second person singular simple present indicative of disclaim. Disclaimeth, third person singular simple present indicative of disclaim. Disclaiming, present participle and gerund of disclaim. Disclaims, third person singular simple present indicative of disclaim. Disclamation, the act of disclaiming or something disclaimed. Disclamations, plural of disclamation. Disclamatory, being in the nature of a disclamation. Disclaim, obsolete spelling of disclaim. Disclaim, simple past and past participle of disclaim. Disclaims, third person singular simple present indicative of disclaim. Disclaiming, present participle and gerund of disclaim. Clarity, the quality of being inconsistent, inconsistency. Disclassified, simple past and past participle of disclassify. Disclassifies, third person singular simple present indicative of disclassify. Disclassify, to remove from a class or classification, to decategorize. Disclassifying, present participle and gerund of disclassify. Disglaunder, alternative form of dislander. Disglaundered, simple past and past participle of disglaunder. Discus, without a disc or discs. Disc-like, resembling or characteristic of a disc. Disclimactic, relating to disclimax. Disclimax, aplegiath climax. Disclimaxes, plural of disclimax. Disclinated, modified by disclination. Disclination, any of several defects in rotational symmetry, especially in the orientation of the molecules of a liquid crystal, related to dislocation and dispersion. Disclinations, plural of disclination. Discloak, to remove a cloak from. Discloaked, simple past and past participle of discloak. Discloaks, third person singular simple present indicative of discloak. Disclosable, able to be disclosed. Disclose, to open up, unfasten. Disclosed, simple past and past participle of disclose. Discloser, a person who discloses. Disclosers, plural of discloser. Discloses, third person singular simple present indicative of disclose. Discloses, second person singular simple present indicative of disclose. Discloset, third person singular simple present indicative of disclose. Disclosing, present participle and gerund of disclose. Disclosing tablet, a chewable tablet used to make dental plaque visible on the teeth. Disclosing tablets, plural of disclosing tablet. Disclosings, plural of disclosing. Disclosive, relating to disclosure. Disclosed, simple past and past participle of disclose. Disclosure, the act of revealing something. Disclosures, plural of disclosure. Discloud, to clear of clouds. Disclouded, simple past and past participle of discloud. Disclouds, third person singular simple present indicative of discloud. That glowed, to disclose, make known. Discluded, simple past and past participle of disclude. Decludes, third person singular simple present indicative of disclude. Despluding, present participle and gerund of disclude. Desplusion, a shutting off, exclusion. Dismag, alternative form of dismag. Dismags, plural of dismag. Discman, a Sony portable personal compact disc player product line. Discmans, plural of discman. Disco, clipping of discotheque nightclub for dancing. Disco ball, a suspended rotating mirrored sphere which casts moving spots of light across a room when light is projected on it. Disco balls, plural of disco ball. Disco biscuit, a quaalude. Disco biscuits, plural of disco biscuit. Disco dancing, a style of dancing to recorded bass rhythmic music popularized in the 1970s. Disco fries, fries served with mozzarella and brown gravy similar to poutine. Disco funk, a genre of dance music containing elements of funk, soul, pop, and salsa. Disco matanga, a funeral party typically organized to raise funds for the burial. Disco matangas, plural of disco matanga. Disco music, a genre of dance music that was mostly popular in the 1970s that is often characterized by its elements of soul music along with a strong Latin American-inspired beat and often accompanied by pulsating lights that also features a melodic sound with a regular bass beat that was intended mainly for dancing at discotheques. Disco nap, a nap taken to elevate refresh one's energy, often before an activity or outing. Disco naps, plural of disco nap. Disco perm, a hairstyle that was popular in the 1970s that consisted of long hair that has been permed into tight curls in imitation of an afro. Disco perms, plural of disco perm. Disco polo, a genre of popular dance music created in Poland in the late 1980s. Disco rice, maggots. Disco stick, the penis. Disco sticks, plural of disco stick. Disco, of or pertaining to a disc. Disco dance, to dance to pop music. Disco-like, similar to disco music or culture. Disco style, of or pertaining to a style in music or fashion reminiscent of the 1970s disco period. The ghost, to depart, to quit the coast that is the side or border of anything, to be separated. Disgusted, simple past and past participle of disgust. Disghosting, present participle and gerund of discos. The ghosts. Third person singular simple present indicative of discos. Discoblastic, having a form of egg cleavage where only a small disc separates from the rest of the egg associated with osseous tissues. Discoblastula, a discoid blastula formed by cleavage of a meriblastic egg. Discoblastulas, plural of discoblastula. Discoboli, plural of discobolus. Discobolus, a discus thrower. Discocellular, one of several short transverse veins forming the distal edge of the discal cell and the wing of a lepidopteran insect. Discocellulars, plural of discocellular. Discosphalid, any ciliate of the family Discosphalidea. Discosphalids, plural of discosphalid. Discosphaline, any ciliate of the suborder Discosphalina. Discosphalines, plural of discosphaline. Discocone, an organism or fossil with a discoconic shell, or the shell itself. Discocones, plural of discocone. Decaconic, having an extremely narrow cone shape between 0 and 30% of the diameter with umbilical width index between 20 and 30%. Discocyte, a discoid form of red blood cell. Discocytes, plural of discocyte. Discocytic, of pertaining to or containing discocytes. Discodermalide, a natural polyketide that is a potent inhibitor of tumor cell growth. Discodrylid, any member of the Discodrylidae. Escodrylids, plural of discodrylid. Decode, simple past and past participle of disco. Discover, a person who goes to discos. Discoers, plural of discoer. Discoing, characteristic of disco music. Disco high, adapted to disco music or disco culture. Discog, abbreviation of discography. Discogenic, that originates in damaged vertebral discs. Discoblossid, any frog or toad in the family Discoblosidae, a synonym of the Alatidae. Discoblosidian, any of the family Discoblosidae of primitive frogs. Discoblosidians, plural of Discoblosidian. Discoblosids, plural of discoblosid. Discogram, the diagnostic image produced by discography. Discograms, plural of discogram. Discographer, one who compiles a discography. Discographers, plural of discographer. Discographic, of or pertaining to discography. Discographical, of or pertaining to discography. Discographically, in terms of discography. Discographies, plural of discography. Discography, complete collection of the releases of a musical act. Discoherent, incoherent. Discohesion, the disruption of cohesion. Discohesions, plural of discohesion. Discohesive, that disrupts cohesion. Discohesiveness, the condition of being discohesive. Discohexact, a hexact with axes enlarged at the extremity. Discohexacts, plural of discohexact. Discohexaster, a sponge spicule with 6 rays octahedrally arranged, ending with discs. Discohexasters, plural of discohexaster. Discoid, shaped like a disc/disc. Discoidal, having the flat, circular shape of a disc or a quoit. Discoidin, a protein domain associated with blood coagulation. Discoids, plural of discoid, discoing, present participle and gerund of disco. Discoish, reminiscent of disco music. Discoligamentus, relating to or affecting the intervertebral discs and ligaments. Discolite, resembling or characteristic of a disco nightclub where dancing takes place. Discolith, a kind of coccolith with an oval discoidal body, a thick, strongly refracting rim, and a thinner central portion. Discoliths, plural of discolith. Discolor, to change or lose color. Discolored, obsolete form of discolored. Discolorate, to discolor. Discolorated, simple past and past participle of discolorate. Discolorate, third person singular simple present indicative of discolorate. Discolorating, present participle and gerund of discolorate. Discoloration, the act of discoloring or the state of being discolored, alteration of hue or appearance. Discolorations, plural of discoloration. Discolored, deprived of color or given the wrong color, pale, stained. Discoloredness, the quality of being discolored. Discolorer, one who discolors. Discolorers, plural of discolorer. Discoloring, present participle and gerund of discolor. Discolorings, plural of discoloring. Discolorization, alternative form of discolorization. Discolorizations, plural of discolorization. Discolorization, a process of losing color. Discolorizations, plural of discolorization. Discolorment, a loss of color. Discolorous, having upper and lower surfaces of different colors. Discolorously, in a discolorous manner. Discolors, third person singular simple present indicative of discolor. Discolor, British and Canadian standard spelling of discolor. Discolored, obsolete form of discolored. Discoloration, alternative spelling of discoloration. Discolorations, plural of discoloration. Discolored, British standard spelling of discolored. Discolorer, rare spelling of discolorer. Discolorers, plural of discolorer. Discolore, third person singular simple present indicative of discolor. Discoloring, present participle and gerund of discolor. Discolorings, plural of discoloring. Discolorization, alternative form of discolorization. Discolorization, alternative form of discolorization. Discolorment, alternative spelling of discolorment. Discolorments, plural of discolorment. Discolorous, rare spelling of discolorous. Discolors, third person singular simple present indicative of discolor. DECA, acronym of Division Support Command. DECA, acronym of Distribution Company, especially for electricity. Discomania, enthusiasm for disco music. Discombobulate, alternative form of discombobulate. Discombobulated, simple past and past participle of discombobulate. Discombobulates, third person singular simple present indicative of discombobulate. Discombobulating, present participle and gerund of discombobulate. Discombobricate, alternative form of discombobulate. Discombobulated, simple past and past participle of discombobulate. Discombobulates, third person singular simple present indicative of discombobulate. Discombobulating, present participle and gerund of discombobulate. Discombobulate, to throw into a state of confusion, to befuddle or perplex. Discombobulated, simple past and past participle of discombobulate. Discombobulatedly, in a discombobulated manner. Discombobulates, third person singular simple present indicative of discombobulate. Discombobulating, confusing, tending to befuddle or perplex. Discombobulatingly, so as to discombobulate, perplexingly. Discombobulation, an embarrassing feeling that leaves a person confused. Discombobulations, plural of discombobulation. Discombobulative, distinguished by discombobulation, discombobulating. Discombobulator, one who or that which discombobulates. Discombobulators, plural of discombobulator. Discombuberate, synonym of discombobulate. Discombuberated, simple past and past participle of discombuberate. Discombuberates, third person singular simple present indicative of discombuberate. Discombuberating, present participle and gerund of discombuberate. Discombuberate, alternative form of discombuberate. Discombuberated, simple past and past participle of discombuberate. Discombuberates, third person singular simple present indicative of discombuberate. Discombuberating, present participle and gerund of discombuberate. Discomedeucin, a jellyfish of the subclass Discomedeuci. Discomedeucins, plural of Discomedeucin. Discomfit, to embarrass someone greatly, to confuse, to perplex, to disconcert. Discomfited, simple past and past participle of discomfit. Discomfited, third person singular simple present indicative of discomfit. Discomfiting, tending to discomfit, embarrass greatly, upset the composure of disconcert. Discomfitingly, in a manner that discomfits. Discomfits, third person singular simple present indicative of discomfit. Discomfited, simple past and past participle of discomfit. Discomfiting, present participle and gerund of discomfit. Discomfiture, defeat in battle. Discomfitures, plural of discomfiture. Discomfort, mental or bodily distress. Discomfortable, causing discomfort or uneasiness. Discomfortableness, the quality of being discomfortable. Discomfortably, in a discomfortable manner. Discomforted, simple past and past participle of discomfort. Discomforter, one who causes discomfort. Discomforters, plural of discomforter. Discomforted, third person singular simple present indicative of discomfort. Discomforting, causing discomfort. Discomfortingly, in a discomforting manner. Discomforts, plural of discomfort. Discommend, to show disapproval of something or someone, to find fault with. Discommendable, deserving disapprobation or blame. Discommendably, in a discommendable manner. Discommendation, blame, censure, reproach, shunning. Discommendations, plural of discommendation. Discommended, simple past and past participle of discommend. Discommender, one who discommends. Discommenders, plural of discommender. Discommending, present participle and gerund of discommend. Discommend, Third person singular simple present indicative of discommend. Discommensurate. Not commensurate. Discommensuration, the condition of being discommensurate. Discommission, to deprive of a commission or trust. Discommissioned, simple past and past participle of discommission. Discommissioning, present participle and gerund of discommission. Discommissions, third person singular simple present indicative of discommission. Discommodate, to render unfit or unsuitable, to fail to treat well. Discommodated, simple past and past participle of discommodate. Discommodates, third person singular simple present indicative of discommodate. Discommodating, present participle and gerund of discommodate. Discommode, to cause inconvenience to someone. Discommode, simple past and past participle of discommode. Discommodes, third person singular simple present indicative of discommode. Discommoding, present participle and gerund of discommode. Discommodious, not commodious, uncomfortable or inconvenient. Discommodiously, in a discommodious manner. Discommodiousness, the state or quality of being discommodious. Discommodities, plural of discommodity. Discommodity, disadvantage, inconvenience. Discommon, to deprive of the privilege of citizenship of a town or city. Discommon, simple past and past participle of discommon. Discommoning, present participle and gerund of discommon. Discommons, third person singular simple present indicative of discommon. Discommons, simple past and past participle of discommons. Discommences, third person singular simple present indicative of discommons. Discommensing, present participle and gerund of discommons. Discommunity, a lack of common possessions, properties, or relationship. Discompanies, third person singular simple present indicative of discompany. Discompany, to free from company, to dissociate. Discompassionate, lacking compassion. Discompassionately, in a discompassionate manner. Discomplexion, to taint or stain, change the complexion or shade of. Discomplexioned, simple past and past participle of discomplexion. Discomplexioning, present participle and gerund of discomplexion. Discomplexions, third person singular simple present indicative of discomplexion. Discompliance, failure or refusal to comply. Discompose, to destroy the composure of, to disturb or agitate. Discomposed, simple past and past participle of discompose. Discomposedly, in a discomposed manner. Discomposedness, the quality of being discomposed. Discomposes, third person singular simple present indicative of discompose. Discomposing, present participle and gerund of discompose. Discomposingly, so as to discompose. Discomposition, discordance, inconsistency. Discomposure, the state of being discomposed. Discomposures, plural of discomposure. Discount, to discount. Discompted, simple past and past participle of discompt. Discompting, present participle and gerund of discompt. Discompt, third person singular simple present indicative of discompt. Decom, plural of discom. Decoms, plural of discom. Disconcerting, concerning, disconcerting, disconcert, to upset the composure of, to startle. Disconcerted, past participle of disconcert. Disconcertedly, in a disconcerted manner. Disconcertedness, the characteristic of being disconcerted. Disconcerteth, third person singular simple present indicative of disconcert. Disconcerting, tending to cause discomfort, uneasiness, or alarm. Disconcertingly, in a disconcerting manner, upsettingly. Disconcertingness, the quality of being disconcerting. Disconcertion, anxious embarrassment. Disconcertment, disconcertedness. Disconcertments, plural of disconcertment. Disconcerts, third person singular simple present indicative of disconcert. Disconcordance, a lack of concordance. Disconcordances, plural of disconcordance. Disconcordant, relating to or causing disconcordance. Disconcordantly, in a discordant manner. Disconcur, to disagree with a statement or action. Disconcurs, third person singular simple present indicative of disconcur. Disconducive, synonym of unconducive. Disconfer, to establish the falsity of a claim or belief, to show or to tend to show that a theory or hypothesis is not valid. Disconfirmability, the condition of being disconfirmable. Disconfirmable, able to be disconfirmed. Disconfirmation, introduction of evidence which conclusively establishes that a belief or hypothesis is not true or which diminishes the acceptability of a belief or hypothesis. Disconfirmations, plural of disconfirmation. Disconfirmative, that disconfirms. Disconfirmatory, serving to disconfirm something. Disconfirm, simple past and past participle of disconfirm. Disconfirmed expectancies, plural of disconfirmed expectancy. Disconfirmed expectancy, a failed prophecy leading to a form of cognitive dissonance in the believer. Disconfirming, present participle and gerund of disconfirm. Disconfirms, third person singular simple present indicative of disconfirm. Disconformable, not conformable, firm. Disconfirms, third person singular simple present indicative of disconfirm. Disconformable, not conformable. Disconformably, in a disconformable manner. Disconformities, plural of disconformity. Disconformity, a type of unconformity in which erosion or lack of deposition has occurred between two parallel sedimentary strata. Discongruities, plural of discongruity. Discongruity, incongruity, disagreement, unsuitableness. Disconjugate, operating independently, not joined in action. Disconnect, to sever or interrupt a connection. Disconnectable, capable of being disconnected. Disconnected, simple past and past participle of disconnect. Disconnectedly, in a disconnected manner. Disconnectedness, the characteristic of being disconnected. Disconnecting, present participle and gerund of disconnect. Disconnection, severance of a physical connection. Disconnection syndrome, any of a number of neurological symptoms caused via lesions to associational or commissural nerve fibers by damage to the white matter axons of communication pathways in the cerebrum. Disconnection syndromes, plural of disconnection syndrome. Disconnections, plural of disconnection. Disconnected, of, pertaining to, or accompanied by disconnection. Disconnectively, in a disconnective manner. Disconnectedness, the quality of being disconnective. Disconnectivities, plural of disconnectivity. Disconnectivity, the condition of being disconnective. Disconnector, a switching device used to open an electric circuit when there is no current through it. They are used to isolate a part of an electrical system to allow the maintenance staff a safe access to it. Disconnectors, plural of disconnector. Disconnects, plural of disconnect. Disconnection, dated spelling of disconnection. Disconnections, plural of disconnection. Disconsecrate, to deprive of consecration or sacredness. Disconsecrated, simple past and past participle of disconsecrated. Disconsecrates, third person singular simple present indicative of disconsecrate. Disconsecrating, present participle and gerund of disconsecrate. Disconsent, disagreement. Disconsented, simple past and past participle of disconsent. Disconsenting, present participle and gerund of disconsent. Disconsents, third person singular simple present indicative of disconsent. Disconsider, to fail or cease to consider, to disregard. Disconsidered, simple past and past participle of disconsider. Disconsidering, present participle and gerund of disconsider. Disconsiders, third person singular simple present indicative of disconsider. Disconsolacy, the state of being disconsolate. Disconsolence, the quality of being disconsolate. Disconsolate, cheerless, dreary. Disconsolated, obsolete form of disconsolate. Disconsolately, in a cheerless, dreary manner, in a manner which suggests that one is beyond consolation. Disconsolateness, the state of being disconsolate, gloom. Disconsolation, the state of being disconsolate, gloom. Disconsolations, plural of disconsolation. Disconsonance, the quality of being disconsonant. Disconsonances, plural of disconsonance. Disconsonancy, the quality of being disconsonant. Disconsonant, not consonant, discordant. Discontent, dissatisfaction. Discontentation, discontent. Discontentations, plural of discontentation. Discontented, experiencing discontent, dissatisfaction. Discontentedly, in a discontented manner. Discontentedness. The state or quality of being discontented. Discontented, third person singular simple present indicative of discontent. Discontentful, full of discontent. Discontenting, discontented. Discontention, discontent. Discontentions, plural of discontention. Discontentive, relating or tending toward discontent. Discontentment, a state of dissatisfaction or discontent. Discontentments, plural of discontentment. Discontents, plural of discontent. Discontiguity, the condition of being discontiguous. Discontiguous, not contiguous. Discontiguously, in a discontiguous manner. Discontiguousness, the quality of being discontiguous. Discontinuous, misspelling of discontinuous. Discontinuum, plural of discontinuum. Discontinuable, capable of being discontinued. Discontinually, synonym of discontinuously. Discontinuance, the occurrence of something being discontinued as cessation, an incomplete ending. Discontinuances, plural of discontinuance. Discontinuation, a breach or interruption of continuity. Discontinuations, plural of discontinuation. Discontinuative, indicating discontinuation. Discontinue, to interrupt the continuance of, to put an end to, especially as regards commercial productions, to stop producing, making, or supplying. Discontinue, permanently no longer available for sale. Discontinue, one whose possession of an estate is broken off or discontinued, one whose estate is subject to discontinuance. Discontinuees, plural of discontinuee. Discontinuer, one who discontinues or breaks off or away from, an absentee. Discontinuers, plural of discontinuer. Discontinues, third person singular simple present indicative of discontinue. Discontinuing, present participle and gerund of discontinue. Discontinuities, plural of discontinuity. Discontinuity, a lack of continuity, regularity, or sequence, a break or gap. Discontinuity systematics, synonym of baraminology. Discontinuer, archaic form of discontinuer. Discontinuers, plural of discontinuer. Discontinuous, having breaks or interruptions, intermittent. Discontinuously, in a discontinuous manner, not continuously. Discontinuousness, the state or quality of being discontinuous. Discontinuum, a discontinuous series. Disconvenience, incongruity, unsuitableness. Disconveniences, plural of disconvenience. Disconvenient, not convenient or congruous, unsuitable, ill-adapted. Discoordinate, to cause or to undergo discoordination. Discoordinated, simple past and past participle of discoordinate. Discoordinating, present participle and gerund of discoordinate. Discoordination, impaired coordination. Discoordination, dated spelling of discoordination. Discopathies, plural of discopathy. Discopy, any disease of an intervertebral disc. Discophile, record collector. Discophiles, plural of discophile. Discophilia, the love of recorded music. Discophore, any of the discophora. Discophore, plural of discophore. Discophorus, having a gelatinous bell or disc. Discord, an instant messaging and VoIP social platform which allows communication through voice calls, video calls, text messaging, and media. Discord Kitten, a user, typically female, of Discord who receives a subscription to the premium service Discord Nitro from another user, typically male. Discord Kittens, plural of Discord Kitten. Discordable, that may produce discord, disagreeing, discordant. Discordance, a state of being discordant, disagreement, inconsistency. Discordances, plural of discordance. Discordancies, plural of discordancy. Discordancy. Discordance. Discordant. Not in harmony or accord. Discordantly. In a discordant manner. Discordantness. Equality v discordant. Discordance. Obsolete form of discordance. Discordances. Plural of discordance. Discordant. Obsolete form of discordant. Discordant. Simple past and past participle of discord. Discordant. Misspelling of discordant. Discordful. Full of discord, contentious, quarrelsome. Discordia. The goddess of discord, confusion, and strife. Discordian. Of or pertaining to Discordianism, an absurdist religion founded in the 1950s. Discordianism. A minor new religious movement with absurdist elements, often seen as a parody based on the worship of Eris, the Greek goddess of discord and confusion. Discordianist. A Discordian, one who subscribes to Discordianism. Discordianists, plural of Discordianists. Discordians, plural of Discordian. Discording, present participle and gerund of discord. Discordus, full of discord. Discords, plural of discord. Discorporate, to leave one's physical body, such as through metaphysical or drug-induced means. Discorporated, simple past and past participle of discorporate. Discorporates, third person singular simple present indicative of discorporate. Discorporating, present participle and gerund of discorporate. Discorrelated, from which quantum correlation has been removed. Discorrelation, a negative correlation. Discorrelations, plural of discorrelation. Discorrespondent, incongruous. Discorrupt, to purify, to make less corrupt. Discorsian, obsolete spelling of discursion. Dicos, plural of disco. Discosaurid, any tetrapod in the family Discosauridae. Discosaurids, plural of Discosaurid. Discoseum, an organism of the class Discosia. Discoseans, plural of Discosean. Discosaurid, an organism in the order Discosaurida. Discosaurids, plural of Discosaurid. Discospondylitis, spondylitis that also affects the vertebral discs. Disgust, obsolete form of disgust. Disgusted, simple past and past participle of disgust. Disgusting, present participle and gerund of disgust. Disgusts, third person singular simple present indicative of disgust. Discotheque, a nightclub where dancing takes place. Discotheque, alternative form of discotheque. Discotheques, plural of discotheque. Discotheques, plural of discotheque. Discotic, describing disc-shaped liquid crystals. Discotomies, plural of discotomy. Discotomy, synonym of disectomy. Discoured, obsolete typography of discovered. Discounsel, to advise someone against. Doing something. Discounseled, simple past and past participle of discounsel. Discounseling, present participle and gerund of discounsel. Discounseled, simple past and past participle of discounsel. Discounseling, present participle and gerund of discounsel. Discounsels, third person singular simple present indicative of discounsel. Discount, to sell at a reduced price. Discount card, a card that entitles the holder to discounts on the prices of some products or services. Discount cards, plural of discount card. Discount department store, a discount store, a department store with reduced prices. Discount department stores, plural of discount department store. Discount rate, an interest rate that a central bank charges depository institutions that borrow reserves from it. Discount rates, plural of discount rate. Discount store, a type of department store which sell products at prices lower than those asked by other department stores. Discount stores, plural of discount store. Discountability, the quality of being discountable. Discountable, that can be discounted in all senses. Discountably, such that it can be discounted or ignored. Discounted, simple past and past participle of discount. Discountenance, to have an unfavorable opinion of, to deprecate or disapprove of. Discountenanced, simple past and past participle of discountenance. Discountenancer, one who discountenances. Discountenancers, plural of discountenancer. Discountenances, third person singular simple present indicative of discountenance. Discountenancing, present participle and gerund of discountenance. Discounter, a vendor of discount goods. Discounters, plural of discounter. Discounting, the act or process of discounting. Discountings, plural of discounting. Discounts, plural of discount. Discourage, to extinguish the courage of, to dishearten, to depress the spirits of, to deprive of confidence, to deject. Discourageable, capable of being discouraged, easily disheartened. Discouraged, having lost confidence or hope, dejected, disheartened. Discouragedly, in a discouraged manner. Discouragement, the loss of confidence or enthusiasm. Discouragements, plural of discouragement. Discourager, one who discourages. Discouragers, plural of discourager. Discourages, third person singular simple present indicative of discourage. Discourages, second person singular simple present indicative of discourage. Discourageth, third person singular simple present indicative of discourage. Discouraging, present participle and gerund of discourage. Discouragingly, in a discouraging manner. Discouragings, plural of discouraging. Discourse, archaic spelling of discourse. Discourses, plural of discourse. Discour, obsolete form of discover. Discoured, simple past and past participle of discour. Discours, third person singular simple present indicative of discour. Discouring, present participle and gerund of discour. Discours, obsolete form of discourse. Discoursal, relating to discourse. Discoursally, in terms of discourse. Discourse, verbal exchange, conversation. Discourse analyzes, plural of discourse analysis. Discourse analysis, any of a number of approaches to analyzing written, spoken, or sign language use. Discourse analyst, an expert or student of discourse analysis. Discourse analysts, plural of discourse analysts. Discourse marker, a word or phrase that marks a boundary in a discourse, typically as part of a dialogue. Discourse markers often signal topic changes, reformulations, discourse planning, stressing, hedging, or backchanneling. Discourse markers, plural of discourse marker. Discoursed, simple past and past participle of discourse. Discourseless, without discourse. Discourser, one who discourses, a narrator or speaker. Discoursers, plural of discourser. Discourses, plural of discourse. Discourses, second person singular simple present indicative of discourse. Discoursa, third person singular simple present indicative of discourse. Discoursing, conversation. Discoursings, plural of discoursing. Discoursive, synonym of discursive. Discursively, in a reasoning manner, by way of conversation or discourse. Discoursiveness, the state or quality of being discursive. Discourteous, impolite, lacking consideration for others. Discourteously, in a discourteous manner. Discourteousness, the state or quality of being discourteous, lack of courtesy. Discourtesies, plural of discourtesy. Discourtesy, lack of courtesy, rudeness. Discourse, like a disc/dis. Discovenant, to dissolve a covenant with. Discovenanted, simple past and past participle of discovenant. Discovenanting, present participle and gerund of discovenant. Discovenants, third person singular simple present indicative of discovenant. Discover, discover card, a brand of credit card. Discover, simple past and past participle of discover. Discoverabilities, plural of discoverability. Discoverability, the condition of being discoverable. Discoverable, able to be discovered. Discoverableness, synonym of discoverability. Discoverably, in a discoverable way. Discover, simple past and past participle of discover. Discovered attack, an attack revealed when one piece moves out of the way of another. Discovered attacks, plural of discovered attack. Discovered check, a check by means of a discovered attack against the opponent's king. Discovered checks, plural of discovered check. Discoveretst, second person singular simple past indicative of discover. Discovery, one who is discovered. Discoveries, plural of discovery. Discoverer, one who discovers, a person who has discovered something. Discoverers, plural of discoverer. Discoverist, second person singular simple present indicative of discover. Discovereth, third person singular simple present indicative of discover. Discovery, obsolete spelling of discovery. Discoveries, plural of discovery. Discovering, present participle and gerund of discover. Discoverings, plural of discovering. Discoverment, discovery. Discoverments, plural of discoverment. Discovers, third person singular simple present indicative of discover. Discover, an uncovered place or part. Discovertible, relating to the intervertebral discs. Discoverx, plural of discovered. Discoversure. Discovery. Discovertures, plural of discovered. Discovery, something discovered. Discovery Bay, a census-designated place in Contra Costa County, California, United States. Discovery Day, Columbus Day. Discovery informatics, the computing tools and methods used in the drug discovery process, such as software that deals with chemical and biological structures. Discovery Islands, a group of islands at the northern end of the Salish Sea and the eastern end of Johnston Strait, between Vancouver Island and the mainland coast of British Columbia, Canada. Discovery Request, a legal document filed in connection with litigation and describing documents, materials, or information which the opposing party is requested to produce. Discovery Requests, plural of discovery request. Discover, obsolete form of discover. Discovers, third person singular simple present indicative of discover. Discover, clothing to be worn at discos. Isriate, to ungiate. Idriates, third person singular simple present indicative of discreate. Discreditable, discreditable, bringing discredit, shameful. Discredit, to harm the good reputation of a person. Discreditability, quality of being discreditable. Discreditable, able to be discredited. Discreditableness, quality of being discreditable. Discreditably, in a discreditable manner. Discreditation, the act or process of discrediting or of being discredited. Discreditations, plural of discreditation. Discredited, considered invalid, unreliable, or untrustworthy. Discreditist, second person singular simple present indicative of discredit. Discredited, third person singular simple present indicative of discredit. Discrediting, present participle and gerund of discredit. Discreditings, plural of discrediting. Discreditor, one who discredits. Discreditors, plural of discreditor. Discredits, third person singular simple present indicative of discredit. Discredulous, unable or unwilling to believe something, incredulous. Discreet, respectful of privacy or secrecy, exercising caution in order to avoid causing embarrassment, quiet, diplomatic. Discreeter, comparative form of discreet, more discreet. Discretus, superlative form of discreet, most discreet. Discreetly, acting in a discreet manner, acting in a way that respects privacy or secrecy, quietly. Discreetness, the state or quality of being discreet. Discriminate, misspelling of discriminate. Discrimination, misspelling of discrimination. Discrepance, archaic form of discrepancy. Discrepances, plural of discrepant. Discrepancies, plural of discrepancy. Discrepancy, an inconsistency between facts or sentiments. Discrepant, showing difference, inconsistent, dissimilar. Discrepantly, in a conflicting or discordant manner. Discrepance, plural of discrepant. Discrepancy, misspelling of discrepancy. Discretamine, synonym of schoolerine. Discrete, separate, distinct, individual, non-continuous. Discrete binning, synonym of binning data pre-processing technique. Discrete binnings, plural of discrete binning. Discrete categories, plural of discrete category. Discrete category, a category whose morphisms are all identity morphisms. Discrete choice analyzes, plural of discrete choice analysis. Discrete choice analysis, the analysis of a metal whose dependent variable is a binary two-valued variable. Discrete component, a component with just one circuit element, either passive resistor, capacitor, inductor, or active transistor, or vacuum tube. Discrete components, plural of discrete component. Discrete Fourier transform, the process of converting a discrete time-based function into its frequency-based representation. Discrete Fourier transforms, plural of discrete Fourier transform. Discrete manufacturing, manufacturing which is concerned with discrete units, bills of materials, and the assembly of components. Discrete math, discrete mathematics. Discrete mathematics, collectively, most discrete or computer science-related branches of mathematics, such as graph theory and combinatorics. Discrete metric, a metric d such that for any pair of points x and y, dxy equals 0 if x equals y, and dxy equals 1 if x and y. Discrete metrics, plural of discrete metric. Discrete random variable, a random variable that has a countable amount of possible values. Discrete set, a set of points of a topological space such that each point in the set is an isolated point, i.e. a point that has a neighborhood that contains no other points of the set. Discrete sets, plural of discrete set. Discrete time, a framework which views values of variables as occurring at distinct, separate points in time, or equivalently as being unchanged throughout each non-zero region of time. Discrete times, plural of discrete time. Discrete topologies, plural of discrete topology. Discrete topology, a topology on a set consisting of all subsets of that set. Discrete valuation, a valuation on some field that takes integer values, including infinity. Discrete valuation ring, a local principal ideal domain whose unique maximal ideal is not the zero ideal. Discrete valuations, plural of discrete valuation. Discrete variable, a variable that takes values from a finite or countable set, such as the number of legs of an animal. Discrete variables, plural of discrete variable. Discrete time, of or pertaining to discrete time. Discrete time Markov chain, a sequence of random variables known as a stochastic process in which the value of the next variable depends only on the value of the current variable and not any variables in the past. Discrete time Markov chains, plural of discrete time Markov chain. Discrete time signal, a time series consisting of a sequence of quantities. Discrete time signals, plural of discrete time signal. Discretely, as a separate independent unit. Discreteness, the state or quality of being discrete, separated, or distinct. Discretenesses, plural of discreteness. Discreter, comparative form of discrete, more discrete. Discretus, superlative form of discrete, most discrete. Discretion, the quality of being discrete. Discretion is the better part of valor. Alternative spelling of discretion is the better part of valor. Discretion is the better part of valor. it is often wise to refrain from seemingly brave speech or action. Discretional, discretionary, discretionalities, plural of discretionality. Discretionality, the condition or the extent to be discretional. Discretionally, at one's discretion. Discretionaries, goods and services that are not essential, bought by a customer using discretionary income. Discretionarily, at one's discretion. Discretionary, available at one's discretion, able to be used as one chooses, left to or regulated by one's own discretion or judgment. Discretionary account, an account managed by a professional on behalf of a wealthy individual. Discretionary accounts, plural of discretionary account. Discretionary fiscal policies, plural of discretionary fiscal policy. Discretionary fiscal policy, a fiscal policy achieved through government intervention, as opposed to automatic stabilizers. Discretionary income, disposable income minus all payments necessary to meet current bills. Discretionary incomes, plural of discretionary income. Discretionary spending, the amount or portion of a person's or group's expenditures which is used for non-essential or voluntary disbursements, the amount or portion of one's expenditures which one may make as one sees fit. Discretionary spendings, plural of discretionary spending. Discretionless, of a decision or system in which one may not use one's discretion, inflexible. Discretions, plural of discretion. Discretization, alternative spelling of discretization. Discretizations, plural of discretization. Discretize, alternative form of discretize. Discretized, simple past and past participle of discretize. Discretizes, third person singular simple present indicative of discretize. Discretizing, present participle and gerund of discretize. Discretive, marking distinction or separation. Discretive proposition, a compound proposition in which contrasting judgments are made, connected by a word such as but or the. Discretive propositions, plural of discretive proposition. Discretively, in a discretive manner. Discretiveness, the state or quality of being discretive. Discretives, plural of discretive. Discretizable, that may be discretized. Discretization, the act of discretizing or dividing a continuous object or spectrum into a finite number of discrete elements. Discretizational, relating to discretization. Discretizations, plural of discretization. Discretize, to convert a continuous space into an equivalent discrete space, often for the purposes of easier calculation. Discretized, simple past and past participle of discretize. Discretizer, a process or algorithm that discretizes. Discretizers, plural of discretizer. Discretizes, third person singular simple present indicative of discretize. Discretizing, present participle and gerund of discretize. Descry, simple past and past participle of descry. Descries, third person singular simple present indicative of descry. Discrimen, a visible dividing line where two structures come together. Discrimina, plural of discrimen. Discriminabilities, plural of discriminability. Discriminability, the state of being or the extent to which something is discriminable. Discriminable, that can be discriminated or distinguished from others. Discriminably, so as to be discriminable, distinguishably. This criminal. Involved in discrimination. Discriminants. The ability to discriminate or the amount by which something is discriminated. Discriminances. Plural of discriminants. Discriminant. Alternative form of discriminants. Discriminant. An expression that gives information about the roots of a polynomial. For example, the expression d equals b 2 4ac determines whether the roots of the quadratic equation x2 plus bx plus c equals 0 are real and distinct, d 0 real and equal, d equals 0 or complex, d 0. Discriminant function. A function used to predict a categorical dependent variable by one or more continuous or binary independent variables. Discriminant functions. Plural of discriminant function. Discriminantal. Relating to a discriminant. Discriminantly. In a discriminant manner. Discriminants. Plural of discriminant. Discriminatable. Alternative form of discriminable. Discriminate. To make distinctions. Discriminated. Simple past and past participle of discriminate. Discriminated against. Being the subject of discrimination in society. Discriminati. One who is the subject of discrimination. Discriminates. Plural of discriminati. Discriminately. Distinctly, in a manner that perceives or exhibits differences. Discriminateness. The state of being discriminated, distinctness. Discriminates. Third person, singular simple present indicative of discriminate. Discriminating. Able to perceive fine distinctions between similar things, perceptive. Discriminatingly. With discrimination. Discrimination. Discernment. The act of discriminating, discerning, distinguishing, noting or perceiving differences between things with the intent to understand rightly and make correct decisions. Discriminational. Discriminatory. Discriminations. Plural of discrimination. Discriminative. Having or relating to the ability to discriminate between things. Discriminative stimuli. Plural of discriminative stimulus. Discriminative stimulus. A stimulus associated with reinforcement or punishment that exerts control over a particular form of behavior. The subject discriminates between closely related stimuli and elicits a specific behavior more frequently or less frequently only in the presence of that stimulus. Discriminatively. With discrimination or distinction. Discriminativeness. The condition of being discriminative. Discriminator. A person who discriminates as. Discriminatorily. In a discriminatory manner. Discriminators. Plural of discriminator. Discriminatory. Of or pertaining to discrimination in all senses. Discriminous. Hazardous, dangerous. Discrown. To remove the crown from, thus to deprive of royal status. Discrown. Simple past. Discriminous. Hazardous, dangerous. Discrown. To remove the crown from, thus to deprive of royal status. Discrown. Simple past and past participle of discrown. Discrowning. Present participle and gerund of discrown. Discrowns. Third person singular simple present indicative of discrown. Excruciate. To torture someone, to excruciate. Discruciated. Simple past and past participle of discruciate. Discruciates. Third person singular simple present indicative of discruciate. Excruciating. Present participle and gerund of discruciate. Discry. Obsolete form of discray. Descrying, present participle and gerund of descry. That plural of disc. Disc stone, a carved stone object like a ring stone, but without the central hole. Disc stones, plural of disc stone. Discubitory, leaning, fitted for a reclining posture. Disculpate, to free from blame or the imputation of a fault, to exonerate. Disculpated, simple past and past participle of disculpate. Disculpates, third person singular simple present indicative of disculpate. Disculpating, present participle and gerund of disculpate. Disculpation, exculpation. Disculpations, plural of disculpation. Disculpatory, exculpatory. Discumbency, a reclining position at a meal table, as was apparently the manner in old times such as in ancient Rome. Discumber, to disencumber. Discumbered, simple past and past participle of discumber. Discumbering, present participle and gerund of discumber. Discumbers, third person singular simple present indicative of discumber. Disgear, to discover, to reveal. Disgear, simple past and past participle of disgear. Disgears, third person singular simple present indicative of disgear. Disgearing, present participle and gerund of disgear. Discurrent, not current or free to circulate, not in use. Discursion, the action of hurriedly moving hither and thither. Discursions, plural of discursion. Discursist, a discourser. Discursets, plural of discursus. Discursive, of or concerning discourse. Discursively, in a discursive manner. Discursiveness, the state or quality of being discursive. Discursivize, to make discursive. Discursivized, simple past and past participle of discursivize. Discursivities, plural of discursivity. Discursivity, the quality of being discursive. Discursorily, in a discursory manner. Discursory, argumentative, discursive, having the nature of a discourse. Discursus, argumentation, ratiocination, discursive reasoning. Discursuses, plural of discursus. Dabas, a round plate-like object that is thrown for sport. Discus fish, any of 3 cichlid fish species from the genus Symptosodon, popular as aquarium fishes. Discus fishes, plural of discus fish. Discus throw, an athletic throwing event where the object to be thrown is a heavy lenticular disc called discus. Discus thrower, an athlete who takes part in the discus throw. Discus throwers, plural of discus thrower. Discusses, plural of discus. Discuss, to converse or debate concerning a particular topic. Discuss about, to discuss something. Discuss Uganda, to have sex. Discussable, that can be discussed. Discussant, someone involved in a discussion, especially a participant in a formal discussion or who has been assigned a particular role or topic. Discussants, plural of discussant. Discuss, simple past and past participle of discuss. Discussed Uganda, simple past and past participle of discuss Uganda. Discusser, a person who discusses. Discussers, plural of discusser. Discusses, third person singular simple present indicative of discuss. Discusses Uganda, third person singular simple present indicative of discuss Uganda. Discussable. Alternative spelling of discussable. Discussen. Pronunciation spelling of discussing. Discussing. Present participle and gerund of discuss. Discussing Uganda. Present participle and gerund of discuss Uganda. Discussion. Conversation or debate concerning a particular topic. Discussion room. A forum or message board. Discussion rooms. Plural of discussion room. Discussional. Of or pertaining to discussion. Discussion-like. Resembling or characteristic of a discussion. Discussions. Plural of discussion. Discada. A medicine that discusses or disperses morbid humors, a discutant. Disguise. Plural of discussive. Disgusting. Misspelling of disgusting. Disgustum. Obsolete form of disaccustom. Discussion. Serving to disperse morbid matter, discussive. Discworlder. An inhabitant of the Discworld from Terry Pratchett's Discworld fantasy novels. Discworlders. Plural of Discworlder. Discworldian. Pertaining to Terry Pratchett's Discworld fantasy novels or their setting. Discscene. Alternative spelling of discscene. Discscenes. Plural of discscene. Disdain. A feeling of contempt or scorn. Disdainable. Able to be disdained, subject to disdain. Disdain. Obsolete spelling of disdain. Disdained. Simple past and past participle of disdain. Disdainful. Obsolete form of disdainful. Disdainer. One who disdains. Disdainers. Plural of disdainer. Disdains. Third person singular simple present indicative of disdain. Disdainous. Second person singular simple present indicative of disdain. Disdain. Third person singular simple